everybody. So, this is after a long time, I'm bringing in a new guest to our Zero Point Healing show. And I'm really happy and proud to bring to you this amazing spiritual entrepreneur, a spiritual leader, Ajay. So, welcome so much, Ajay. It's such a pleasure to have you on my show today. So, just a short intro about Ajay. Ajay is amazing. He has a lot of beautiful interview shows. So he's a co-founder of Spiritually Raw and Ascended Masters. He has been in the spiritual industry for such a long time. And today's topic is going to be about ascension. Now, this is not a topic that I have covered in any of my previous shows. So this is going to be about transcending from 3D to 5D planet Earth. So Ajay, let's get started. Would you want to just start off talking a little bit about yourself? Can you introduce yourself to my world?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for bringing me into your world. It's quite a privilege to be here, and thanks for having me. It's great to reconnect with you again. So a little bit about myself. I'm a co-founder of a show called Spiritually Raw, and the reason we founded that, my wife and I, because we were going on a search, we were going on a journey, and knowing that there's so much out there, we figured, okay, well, what's the best way for us to figure it out? Let's just interview the people that are going through the experience. So over this last years, we've interviewed over 2,000 people with their different life experiences from all walks of life, all faiths, all belief systems, non-belief systems, you know what I mean? Whatever they believe, but we find out that way. So it's been a very quick way for us to be able to get people's journey in life very quickly. So I love it. So that's what the show does for us. But really, that's our journey. We're soul sisters and brothers just going through the ride of life, and whatever we can do to help work with, talk to people and meet people, how they help us, we help them. It's just a fun ride. So we look at it as existence as a game. You said it so well in a conversation we had, is that we create all this that happens to us. So if there's some problems, let's figure out a way to uncreate it. So
Beautiful, beautiful, great. So let's just get into our major topic here, transcending or ascension. So tell us a little bit about what is ascension. There could be a lot of people watching this who knows a little bit about ascension, but tell us from your perspective, what is ascension and what does it really mean by going from 3D to 5D Earth?
So there's obviously a million different opinions and views on this, and we've interviewed a lot of them, but here's my personal interpretation of this. There's a lot of what 3D and 5D as a separation in it, that they're different places, they're different things. And what I personally believe is this. I personally believe that it's all right here, right now, where we're at right now. I personally believe if there's a 3D and a 5D or 4D or, whatever D, my question has always been to everybody asking is like, well, my favorite question is, well, who came up with the number? how did they find out how to call it a number? But I believe we all hit those numbers throughout the day. I really do. So I believe at some parts of the day we're at a 3D or three-dimensional vibration, and I believe at some point in the day or sometime in life we hit a 5D. We feel like we're at the top of our game. We feel more connected to God. We feel more connected to source, whatever that may be. And then we come down. And I just believe it's a evolution like that. I don't necessarily, again, this is just all my personal opinion. And I always tell people, take what you want and throw the rest away. I don't believe that we hit a place and then we lock in and that's it. I don't think like that in terms of how I've looked at it. I believe that we get there, and then once we notice that, okay, look, I feel really great today. I feel at the top of my game, mind, body, spirit, prosperity. I feel like I'm hitting my 5D. The key now is going to be, well, how do you maintain that? You know what I mean? The key is sustaining that, not just saying that, because I think the biggest trap, if you would, for a lot of people is that they think that, okay, well, what's going to happen is there's going to be this boom explosion, okay, and then there's going to be this boom, there's this flash, and next thing you know, there's going to be people that are on 5D and the world happens. Everybody has money, everybody has greatest health, everybody looks like they're in their 20s again. And I don't know if that's just going to work that way. And there's just so many people waiting for a moment like that to happen. And some religions call it the coming of a Christ, if you would. Some faiths call it whatever they call it. But at the end of the day, it's still the same Vishnupriya, I want to say this, it's still the proverbial problem of people waiting for some sort of savior or some sort of savior complex to come in and save things.
Right.
And just, we are it. I don't want to say that there's sources out there, there's energies out there that help guide us, that create with us, that show us how to, that teaches these things, that teaches how to, like like I said, with your course you do, like that teaches how to get out of our own way. But again, we're it. We work with the sources. We work with the energies out there. Call it Vishnu, call it Brahma, call it Jesus, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Allah, that's your thing. But we work with those sources. But to wait, to think that all of a sudden one day that, the seas are going to part and there'll be people that'll go to 5D and there'll be people that'll say to 3D, I think a lot of people are just going to be, and as a human being, as a heart and spirit, I'm out here because I want to encourage people to take back control also, of your life. Don't wait for that moment, because you'll be waiting a very long time. Yeah. And
Beautiful. And I totally agree with you, Ajay, right there. I do know and have been believing as well that there is no one moment in time where everything is going to change and money is going to, fall from the skies, or, everybody gets amazing health and all of that. Instead, it's like a step-by-step process where, again, I guess we are tapping on the topic of empowerment, right? So we are taking back our power and saying that, okay, there's no, splitting of the sea that's going to happen. It's just I taking my responsibility of my life, being the creator of my life. And now I get to choose whether I want to be in 3D or 5D, and learning the process of how I can raise my vibration. I guess that brings me the next question here. So now that we have got that mystery out of the way, now we have learned that I get to choose. I can, choose for myself, saying that, hey, I'm happy and ready to go from, let's say, 3D to 5D, and maybe I can start some practices. So tell us a little bit about how can somebody who is consciously choosing to be in 5D as much as possible, what are all the different techniques, practices, or tools, or other stuff that you might have?
Absolutely. So meditation is key, connecting with yourself, realizing that, again, the more you start to trust yourself, and doesn't matter what age you're at, but reacquaint yourself with yourself, get to meet yourself, get to know yourself again. You'll start to learn your spirit. And the more you can start to do that is the step one, is really starting to reacquaint yourself again. I personally, for me, which I find is amazing, and I really give it all the credit in the world to helping me sustain my energy. And really a lot of it is doing these kind of conversations with soul sisters and brothers. Because if you think about it this way, again, my belief system is that to go from a 3D to a 5D, it's not a matter of getting there, it's a matter of staying there. Like, how do you stay there? When we're talking, you and I, it's a high, people watching, maybe they can feel it, but it's a high vibrational conversation. You know what I mean? It's a high vibration. So when I'm talking like this, or I'm in these shows, it really is, it keeps me in that state. So I personally encourage people, okay, if you don't want to have a show, that's fine, but you may want to consider maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of you just getting in some sort of meeting rooms like this and start talking about the spirit life. You know what I mean? Talking about that, and you'll recognize that your vibrations will maintain high. You'll recognize that all of a sudden the thoughts that normally create havoc in your life will no longer be there. Okay, you'll recognize that you'll start to manifest at a much quicker rate. I personally believe my technique, and I look at things very pragmatically in it, that I look at things like, okay, well, boom, how does this work? And this works for me. I see people do this, and I work with people on this. They ask me, they're like, look, I said, just do this. Start talking it out. You'll feel better. You know what I mean? You'll feel better. You'll release it. It'll get out of your existence. So number one, I recommend people, they do reconnect with themselves. Number two, I really, again, if they have friends, they have people, start talking it out like this, getting the daily conversations. I can assure you this: if someone were to do this for 30 days, they wouldn't recognize themselves. They wouldn't recognize who they were. They really wouldn't, because they'd be talking it all out. They'd be rationalizing it. They'd be getting it out. They'd be getting all those thoughts that are in their DNA and their system. They'll be just getting them out, and then things will start to make sense more and more that way. And of course,
Beautiful.
diet. I mean, diet's a great thing. I mean, you know what? Be careful. You know, watch what you ingest. You know, you know all, who you all are. You know what to take.
Mm.
You know what's good for you and what's not good for you. You know.
Exactly. And that's beautiful, doing meditations, connecting with yourself as well as networking with other, spiritually oriented
Yeah.
people like you, like, as we say, similar mindset people, and then having a conversation. So tell us, what are your daily practices that helps you continue your transcension, transcending to that 5D?
Yeah. So what I do, number one is again, I connect in the wake up in the morning and I connect with my spirit. For me personally, I like to be around what I'm connected with. You can see behind me, I have the water behind me. I'm connected very much with water. So I try to be in places that energy work with my soul, my spirit. So that's number one. So I could start my day with my version of God, if you would, whatever that version is for me. And so I start that way. Very rarely I cut back, and I know this sounds like a cliche, but I'm very careful about what I eat, and just how much I eat, more so than anything like that. So I try to work through that and really just eat cleaner, if you would. I'm working on it. I mean, it's a work in progress. We're human beings. We have this in here, but I work on that. I also I exercise every day. I sweat it out every single day. Every single day I make a commitment to just sweat it out, get all the energetic toxins out of my body, physical toxins. I do whatever I can do to get it out of my system and hit the reset button. I mean, it's an engine we live in, or it's an engine we work in. So that's what I do. And then just really, again, like having these kind of conversations throughout the day. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to get to do this. It really is, to get to meet someone at a spirit level. And I think if we can all realize that when we start to talk to someone, that just our mind shift is like, we're not talking to another human being. We're talking to a spirit that happens to be in this body, and they're just trying to figure things out too. So I think if you can look at any conversation like that, they're trying to figure things out just like we are. And it may not always go like that. I mean, it is, but if we start to think in terms of that, it's a much different perspective of how we approach humanity. So that's how I live my day. I look at things different. Things don't bother me really as much because I look at how people are. I mean, they're going through it, and I'm, and hopefully they get through it. That's all you can ask for, is hopefully you hope and pray that your soul sisters and brothers can have a good journey in their life too.
Yeah,
A lot of it's
beautiful.
just being understanding of what people go through.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do totally see your diet, fitness, exercise. You look like 20 years old, I guess. You should be really, really on it. Is there any other, tools and tips that you are
I,
using to
yeah,
maintain that?
because I have a show, a lot of people send us holistic type of products and things like that to promote on the show. About 6 months ago, Vishnupriya, and thanks for asking me about this, but I've really become such a big advocate of this. It's called Redox. It's right here. This came across my path. And what I noticed with this that was very different is that it wasn't like a nutrient or supplement or anything. It actually is cellular signaling. What it does is I drink this and it lights up the body. It makes it feel alive again. So it's not like, okay, well, I'm taking a vitamin or a supplement. It's getting my cells, because what happens is that after we hit the age of puberty, our cells start to diminish. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if I'm 13 years old, I fall off a bike, I can get back off and rub myself off. But if I'm 60 years old and fall off a bike, it's not going to have the same feeling. And that's a lot because the cells aren't working. They're not signaling properly. So generally anything in the body that we're finding out is when the cells aren't talking to each other properly, it's again starts to cause havoc, mind, body, all the way through. So going on a test and journey on this for the last 6 months, I've been an incredible advocate for this because I've seen it work in literally thousands of people. People from my show are literally just sending us notes in tears. They're messaging us. They're like, how this has absolutely changed their lives, because it's opened up. It's starting to get the anti-aging process where, again, because what's happening is the cells start to talk. So people are physically starting to, within a very short period of time, they're starting to look younger. They're shaving years off their images. their insides. Like me personally, like I said, I'm 51. I feel like I'm in the body of a 20-year-old. I can run 5 miles, and I was taking Advil. I can't find any discomfort anywhere, nowhere. My mind is clearer. My vibrations stay at a very high place. Your well-being, it just becomes there. So we live in this body. We're going to need some help along the way. It is what it is. And that's food, that's supplements, that's nutrients. I just have found this to do this. So, I'm a big fan of this. This is something for me personally, from an anti-aging to keep me at optimum state. This is what I really plan on using for the rest of my life. I'm happy with it. From so many different levels. It's opened up I feel like it's opened up my perception of my connection with the universe. I feel like I see things in panoramic. I mean, again, it's all cells. So what am I doing is I'm putting the cells back in my body, opens up, makes me feel alive again, So it's been a big thing for us. So
Wow.
the diet, the perception of everything, the keeping it this, it's a combination of it all that makes us, have a better existence in this life.
Beautiful. And that's amazing that, a product that can be consumed that really helps physically with a lot of different things. So by the way, is it available worldwide, or how is it
30,
available?
yeah, 33 different countries it's available. And, if people are interested in wanting to order it or find out more information about it, we'll send them videos. What we always recommend is that, because it is something that can very well change. It's very, very different. It's not like, okay, let me go and get an aspirin for a headache. It's not like that at all. It's we recommend that if people are wanting to know more information, we'll send them more information about it so they can do their own research. Okay. And if it's available in their country, which is 33 different countries, most of them, then, they can try it out for themselves. But yeah, absolutely. And we'll help them. We actually have a team that will consult with people and figure out what it is they're wanting it for. I mean, people will use it for everything. There's major breakthroughs in like children with, you can't make any medical claims because it's not medicine. Okay. But it is, there's major things with breakthroughs with, people on kids with the spectrum. They're, people that have dreaded things, they have discomforts. I mean, because again, it's getting the cells to work together. So generally anything wrong with the body, is in the physical side of it is because the cells aren't talking or working. This does that specific job, as it starts to repair the damage of the cells that happens at a very early age, which is what really causes the aging process. Some people experience it a lot faster than others, and it's amazing what we're seeing. Like you'll see people in their, literally like I said, I'm 51, I'm feeling 20. I'm talking to people now, they're in their 80. They said, I feel like I'm 50. It's amazing the feeling when the cells start to get back to talking to each other again.
Wow, this is amazing. So if somebody wants to purchase this, how can they go about it? Do you kind of help them with some of these things?
Yeah, we'd love to. We'd be happy to help. And so our contact information, I guess if you share that with people, they can reach out to us. We'll set up a private consultation with them, and we can show them, walk them through the ordering process, because there's ways to order it where they can, save monies. They can, get it at a lower pricing. They can earn stuff for free. I mean, there's just a lot of different ways to do it. And so we have a team that helps walk them through that. We do encourage people to contact us though, because there is so many different ways of looking at it, and sometimes it can be overwhelming for people. Our experience will show them how to get through it quickly,
Wow.
how to use it. There's a whole medical team that they can have access to, that if they have questions to, about, what if I have this, what if I have that, they can ask questions. I mean, they have, calls with medical doctors on there that'll answer questions for them too.
Wow, that's so amazing. This is amazing. And I guess we have already posted the link below.
Thank you.
And those of you who are watching the show, if you're interested in having just a conversation with Ajay for whatever, whether it's for the redox or it's for any other kind of conversations that you would like to have with him, he offers a free consultation. So the link we have already posted below, and you can click the link and book your free consultation. Any questions that you have, I know with regards to transcending in general ascension, there could be a lot of different support that the world requires. So Ajay is a person who totally has a lot of experience, especially with 2000 plus people that he has interviewed and have relationships with. So any questions, you're welcome to click the link and book your consultation. Thank you so much, Ajay. This has been such a wonderful conversation, and your contribution to the world is so amazing. So thank you so much.
God
Any
bless you.
final
Thank you.
words do you have? All right.
Yeah, take control back of your own life. It's 2022. Pull up your big boy pants and big girl pants and get powerful. Stay strong. Stay focused. It's about you. You control it. You create it. Just take it back. Take it back. And you'll have a much better life as a result of it.
Wow, wow, beautiful message. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ajay. It was a pleasure having you on my show. And thank you all my beautiful visitors and people who are watching this. If you're interested, you can click the link. By the way, those of you, I know I forgot my own introduction. If any of you here do not know who I am, I'm Vishnupriya Aristo. I'm the founder of the 0 Point Holistic Healing Center. I guess my link should also be there underneath this video. So if you're interested, you can contact me as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ajay. I'm going to see you next time. Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank you.